good, Humbl3 Fam? How about y'all come on in and let's have us a visit here on the Humbl Show. I am Grant Fletcher, being joined, as always, by my co-hosts Moonbeam Hallows and Brandon Cox, and being joined by a special guest this week. He's got 2 YouTube channels. I don't think he ever sleeps ever. MrHartgrave on the call with us as well this week. How are we, everybody?
You know what? Pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
pretty good.
If you're watching us on YouTube and just listening on the pod players, Brandon's having some technical difficulties, which is why he's just a still image.
Yeah.
This week. But it be what it be. You know, that's the world of entertainment. We just go with whatever we got.
It's Christmas time. Just blame it on Elf on the Shelf or whatever.
That's
whatever
right.
It is. Yeah, it's because of woke, Brandon. Your camera. We talked about this before. Your camera.
I do not have a camera because of woke, unfortunately.
Yeah,
happens to the best of us. Yeah,
I know it, man.
Yeah.
Ms. Hartgrave, so I kind of just want to jump into it because we have so much to talk about. Like we've been talking about the Christmas a lot coming up. Whatever. I see Mr. Hartgrave is feeling a little festive there. He's got the sweater on and everything like that.
Killer sweater.
He's in Parts Unknown, but I think the weather is colder up there in Parts Unknown. So, we're feeling that way. And also we're getting into the mood because one of your channels is focused on wrestling, and we have Kayfabe Fest coming up. So just give us a little spiel real quick about, what people could expect from Mr. Hartgrave from Parts Unknown in particular.
Yeah, so I started up Parts Unknown due to my fascination with AEW wrestling. It kind of brought me back into wrestling fandom. I had been out for many years. I think I took a good 10, 20 years away from wrestling where I didn't really care what was happening. I kind of pay attention to the big headlines or whatever, but I missed a lot of stuff. And AEW wrestling started making a lot of waves, and it got on my radar. And I started to get interested in people like Kenny Omega, who started it up with, the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. And I just started watching like from episode 1 of Dynamite. And now I watch everything, and I have a YouTube channel about it. And I cover the AEW Fight Forever video game. That's probably what I'm most successful at doing on that wrestling channel. But I do, the normal wrestling channel, YouTube channel stuff, predictions and analysis and reactions and stuff like that as well to the happenings in the wrestling world, but mostly focused around AEW.
Yeah. Hey, Moonbeam, what wrestling video game would you say is the most recent one that you've played?
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's not wrestling at all, is it? I get it. Played that.
Wrestling in that video game. Yeah.
It's a combat sport of some type, and
wrestling. Mike Tyson actually showed up in AEW for a spell.
That's true. He did. He was there for a minute.
He didn't do any wrestling, but he was there.
Just like Shaq. Yeah. Shaq showed up there too.
Well, Shaq did some wrestling. Shaq took some bumps, man. It was actually kind of legit.
I had no idea.
It's cool that like you cover AEW so much. I mean, you do some WWE stuff, but it's cool you cover AEW so much because we work with a lot of what you would call legends,
Yeah.
In our thing, conventions. But if we're going to be working with active wrestlers, typically the active wrestlers we work with are AEW wrestlers.
Yeah, they're not going to let you play with the WWE boys.
Yeah. If you do, it's very like, oh, they're going to be there real quick and then they're going to be gone real quick, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
because they're so busy. So we work with Sting, who we love, and
it's Sting.
Who is a legend but also still active. And we worked with Britt Baker before, who's a lot of fun.
She was rad.
Ruby Soho, and someone who actually, Mr. Hartgrave actually has some videos on his channel with Danhausen as well.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Whenever
we love him.
The Parts Unknown area, we love Danhausen. I was saying earlier to Mr. Hartgrave that Danhausen is he's like the ideal convention guest.
How so?
Does that make sense?
Elaborate for the people at home.
I feel like if you were if you left him to his own devices, he would start picking up chairs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's an easy guy to work with. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's not a diva by any means.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's very nice. He's also very evil. You got to watch out for him because he will just knock stuff over too. He does that as well.
He's just recently been brought up, so he still remembers. He's not very far removed.
That's true.
From setting up the event himself, really. So
coming off injury as well. Moonbeam, are you? Did you see the? I'm just as an aside. You see the mug I'm using here?
I can't see anything over your
covered
giant
by
Wait, I forget.
microphone.
See, you're on a different camera than I am because.
Oh, look at
it's
that!
the
Flip it
Humbl3 Show
around
mug.
and let's see that other side. You can get
Yeah.
those at.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get those.
Can you get these? You
just
can't
holler
get
at
these.
your girl. And
Ain't no
Can't
one
get
has
'em.
this. Yeah, we're gonna have these mugs out there eventually, though, or some
We'll see.
form, way, shape, or
Maybe.
form, but both these logos Moonbeam designed, though, so thank you for that.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming on because we're gonna be working with Ron Simmons at Kayfabe Fest, January 13th, Neshoba County.
You heard of him, Mr. Hartgrave?
Yes, everybody's heard of Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
Damn.
We got Magnum TA from the old days, who's going to be there. And we got Mickey James going to be there as well.
Nice.
And then someone that I got lost in a building one time. There's a story about that deep down on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. I don't think you'll be able to get lost at the Coliseum.
I doubt it. I don't think so. And honestly, maybe she remembers it. Maybe she doesn't. She probably does. I mean, typically, if someone leads you down a spooky hallway, you remember that.
Y'all might accidentally walk into the DMV that's in the same building.
There is a DMV.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So it's the Coliseum. It's the DMV.
Yeah.
Is it City Hall as well?
No, but they have another little place that's like it's right next to the DMV.
Oh, you're talking about the Shoney's.
What is it?
The Shoney's, right? We got
No,
the
it's
Shoney's
not
in
the
there.
Shoney's. Look, it's the anyway, it's where me and Brandon are going for the winter charcuterie board workshop.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like
Neshoba County, baby. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
so there's a workshop for winter charcuterie boards?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. I guess we're going to be making like heart-shaped and rose-shaped salami bundles.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That sounds wintry. Maybe with some cranberries. I have no idea what we're doing, but
wintry
me and Brandon are locked in.
Yeah.
We absolutely are.
So remember how like a couple weeks ago when y'all were saying I'm going to want to move to Neshoba County?
We didn't say that.
Yeah. I feel like you did.
I might have said
No,
it,
we
but then
didn't.
instantly took that back.
No,
like
what
you
you
did.
said was I could live there if I was forced to.
Yes,
I
yes.
did say that. I did say that. But look, here. And also I forgot to mention too, because Wildkat Sports and Entertainment, they're going to be putting on a card for us as well. Which they're always great. And Luke Hawks is going to be one of our guys who's going to be at the meet and greet, who's done a lot. He's worked for WWE and been in a lot of movies. He got killed by Wolverine and Logan. He got killed by The Rock in one of the Fast and Furious movies. He got killed by Jason Statham in some other movie that I forget the name of right now.
Lock, stock, and two smoking barrels.
Right. He's like the Michael Biehn of wrestling. So that's going to be real dope that we're going to have everybody there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And another thing that's going to be happening here, too, because in just a couple days on Friday, the Iron Claw movie is going to be released on. So are we familiar with that movie? Do y'all know what that's about or what's going on with that?
Iron
Not in the
Claw.
least. Please elaborate.
So it is a wrestling movie about the legendary Von Erich family.
Ooh.
And, I think mostly about Kerry Von Erich. He was kind of the standout of the family.
Hey, they're the ones that they passed away at, like the Von Erichs.
Oh, like all but one of them died early tragic deaths, basically.
Yeah,
And Fritz, I guess,
that's
too,
what
'cause
I'm.
Fritz was the father,
Yeah.
from
Okay.
the generation before. But yeah, so that is what the deal is with that. That movie's coming out, and it's got oh gosh, now I can't think of his name. Well, the guy who's in The Bear is the lead. The lead from The Bear is you.
Are you talking about Lip from that show? What's his last name?
Show. He was in Shameless as well.
Shameless. Yeah, but what is their last name in Shameless?
To my lip Stilskin.
Oh, golly. No. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Real name's Jeremy Allen White.
Jeremy Allen White. Could you tell your daughter to go
And,
sing outside?
I can't hear you, but and Zac Efron also in there as well, too. So that's a big one. But and just so y'all know, just so we know,
Yeah.
I am working on, could be as early as next week, getting one of the stars of that movie on this show.
Oh, dang.
Not going to say who, and then maybe another one later on as well. So, could
That's
be real
exciting.
soon. Letting y'all
To
know.
my
right
Zac
now.
Efron?
What's that?
Yeah.
All right. Here's
Oh,
the deal. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm going to tell you right now. It ain't Zac Efron, okay?
You know
I'm not
what?
tuning in.
Don't be coming here looking for Zac Efron. He ain't in here, okay?
I feel like I
Not
get
anymore.
emails like this on a daily.
Oh,
Like,
can we talk
hey,
about this, please? Hold on real quick.
Could you get Zac Efron?
Yeah. Mr.
Yeah,
Hartgrave,
yeah.
You're going to get a
Or
little
Jack Nicholson.
insight into what it's like to work for a convention company, because Moonbeam was telling us earlier. It's like, hey, yeah, can you? So what? Like, can you get Jack Nicholson? I think was one of them.
You guys get Jack
Yeah,
Nicholson.
no problem.
Or no. The other one was can you get Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, of
this
course.
year?
Of
for Louisiana
course.
Comic Con.
Yeah.
Like
And why not?
I mean, sure, I can put out.
While you're at it, will you go ahead and just get Garth Brooks and Taylor Swift as well?
And just,
Did we
you know,
get Taylor
you-
Swift to do a concert same night,
Yeah.
2 for 1?
exhume Michael Jackson's grave and just stick his bones on a chair.
There we go. Ms. Hartgrave, if you could book a convention, who would be like your first person you'd reach out to? Like, what were you gonna do? Who would you say?
Jack Nicholson.
If I
Clearly
could,
the bones of Michael
I would
Jackson.
just go with Danhausen, man. I
Danhausen.
already know him, and we'll
Yeah.
just grab Danhausen. He can help me set up the chairs and break it down at the end. So
Right, yeah,
it's-
exactly.
he would.
If you put him up to it, he might do it.
You bring Danhausen, you got to bring his sweet wife.
It's like an
What's her
all-in-one.
name?
Yeah,
Lulu?
it's like a package
Lulu.
deal. Yeah, they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
So rad.
Lulu's so rare. We worked with her at Joe Bob's Jamboree last year. She was
Awesome.
with Danhausen, and
She's the sweetest.
she's really, really cool. If you're not following Danhausen's wife Lulu on Instagram, you should be, because she's got a lot of really cool stuff. She does a lot of really cool work out there. Really dope. But that got me thinking, because we're talking about the Iron Claw, right? And I wanted to talk about in movies and getting someone from the movie on the show. And I wanted to talk about maybe perhaps, what's like a top movie? Like, if I say like, hey, think of a movie with a wrestler in it, what movie comes to mind immediately?
Moana.
Moana? That's the one.
Mulan?
That's so basic.
No,
You go
no,
with
not
The Rock.
Mulan.
Look, you have no
Moana.
idea how basic I am.
The Rock. That's incredibly basic. So I got to go. I mean, I think instantly my mind goes to Friday because I'm super weird.
Okay.
But then if I think about it for like a second more, I got to go with They Live, which is probably the greatest wrestler portrayal, outside of The Rock or whatever. The Rock feels like cheating.
Yeah.
I feel you. I really do.
There's a lot of people that don't even know he's a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's a movie star.
What was his name? What was his name?
You're talking about
It
Tiny
was my
Lister?
necklace.
Yeah,
What-
Tiny Lister from Zeus.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's great in that though. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I would count him because he wasn't a
realize
wrestler.
he was a
an
wrestler.
actor. But then
but
did
yeah,
the
he's
whole
an
part
actor
with Hulk
turned
Hogan.
wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they did the match,
turned actor.
and then he did another match. They brought him into WCW later on as the Z-Man because they couldn't call him Zeus. Because
I mean, you know what? Saying Friday's like saying David Arquette though. It's
I
like,
knew you were going to go. I knew
it's
somebody
David
was going to
Live.
go down.
You know
this
what?
road.
Let me go down with They Live. It's a much cooler pick.
yeah.
Nothing against Friday, but Zeus, yeah, honestly, is an actor turned kind of wrestler. But you can't go wrong with Roddy Piper. That is a true blue wrestler and a breakout star. I mean, I think They Live stands up, and it's a lot due to his performance in that, and even his choreography when it comes down to that epic fight scene, which is just something else.
That's true. Oh yeah. Probably one of the greatest fights in film ever, right?
Absolutely.
But
You know what's real weird is I think that the most recent Dwayne Johnson film that I've seen is Walking Tall.
That's a good one.
I've somehow like completely not tuned into his last 20 years of films. Like it's like The Mummy 2, Walking Tall, and it ends there. And I haven't been like avoiding him, but like that's whenever I think about it, I think that's the last The Rock film I've seen.
I
Did he
think that
play
might
the
be the
lead?
last.
yeah,
Did he play Buford Pusser? Like,
did.
or was he like some Dixie Mafia?
no. He was
Really?
now this movie came out in
No.
2004, so like Brandon said, it's been almost 20 years.
I
since
think
that
that's the
movie.
last time he played a character in a movie. He's just been The Rock ever
Yeah,
since then.
he just
Dude,
plays The
exactly.
Rock.
So you haven't missed anything. He
I
doesn't.
mean,
just-
Jumanji
yeah.
was good. He was real cute in that.
Yeah, that is funny. He's a funny guy.
Jumanji.
He was real cute in that.
Look, he's no Roddy Piper. Okay, we can all agree.
Yeah, yeah.
And another Roddy Piper role as well, not from a movie, but he was also the maniac in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
His last acting role, really, which is phenomenal. It's a great showcase. He does 2 episodes, does he?
Yeah, I think there's 2 episodes. I think he does one, and then like maybe a season or 2 later, he comes back and plays a maniac again.
It's awesome.
Wasn't it like the Thanksgiving episode? Maybe.
Well, they had the wrestling episode. Remember, they had the one with the Eagles. They were the Eagles of Freedom or whatever. And then there's another one. Yeah, maybe it was a Thanksgiving episode. He came back. I'm trying to remember now. But like he had like a bucket of like walnuts or something like that in his car or whatever, and that was like part of whatever it was anyway.
Yeah.
But the one where Danny DeVito played the Trash Man, that was. I feel like that's like an iconic look for Danny DeVito. Yeah, iconic character now is the Trash Man. So that's what comes to mind as far as like Roddy Piper goes is They Live and then that one as well. Brandon, I feel like you said Walking Tall. Is there like another? Is there like it doesn't have to be The Rock? I mean, anybody.
Yeah.
Can you do better than that, sir?
Mr. Nanny. What about Mr. Nanny? You seen Mr. Nanny? You seen?
No one has ever seen that movie.
Did you see Suicide Squad?
No.
Yeah.
You ought to.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy?
John Cena's a great pick.
I do think I did see the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Because Peacemaker was hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic series.
Yeah.
I didn't see the show. You know what, Moonbeam? I'm surprised.
You did.
You know what? I didn't see
I can't believe you didn't see that.
I'm surprised, though, that Moonbeam did not bring up Princess Bride.
Well, I hadn't gotten around to it yet.
Oh, okay, you were going to. It's on the list. I just cut you off is what happened.
I mean, I was just waiting for you guys to ask my turn.
Is that what it was? Oh, I thought you said something. So that was that.
No, I was going to say John Cena was in that Fred movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have never seen
You know
it.
what I'm talking
I never
about?
will see it. I'm never going to see it. So
Woo,
it doesn't matter.
terrible.
Thanks.
If you see it, you can't unsee it.
Oof.
So it's kind of a problem. Yeah.
Thanks for the information that I will never use.
Yeah,
It's
I feel like history has basically forgotten Fred, and really unlike a lot of things that have aged terribly. Like you'll still hear the Macarena at the worst weddings, I suppose, but you'll never go over to somebody's house and it's like, hey, what are we watching tonight? Oh, we're watching the Fred movie. It's been left in the dust.
I feel like
he was in that. He was Fred's daddy in that.
Yeah. And he was in, Daddy's Home too. I think he's in like the end of Daddy's Home. And whatever else. I mean, it's hard to say like, what would be the best one. I could tell you what's probably like the worst Hulk Hogan movie.
What's that?
I don't know. It probably was like that. He did that Three Ninjas movie. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He did one of those, he's done some bad ones. And then, and you know what another one was that you talked about earlier, Moonbeam, today, was George the Animal Steele was in.
Yeah,
Ed
he
Wood.
was in Ed Wood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he was, he was not in the original Play Night from Outer Space.
Which is a shame.
No. He was not that old, not quite that old. But, and then, you brought up the Peanut Butter Falcon, too.
I did.
That's got 2
I
guys.
do all the cool stuff behind the scenes, and then I get on here and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah. I gave you the homework, and then you were like, I forgot the homework. I did the homework, and I just forgot what I did.
It's stage fright.
Because
because
Mick is in the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Now, Sting had some notable film roles, right? He kind of made a go of it there for a moment.
He did a couple things. And he did say that, like, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be an actor for like a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't work out. It also didn't work out for Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose. Now, John Moxley. Those are WWE produced vehicles.
Right, exactly. They did that because it was their job to do it, I guess.
The original 12 rounds is actually quite good. That's the first thing I saw John Cena in, which I think was like his first movie, and it's quite good. I rewatched it recently. It's so damn good. I actually watched it again.
Who was in Roadhouse?
Terry Funk is in Roadhouse.
That's crazy.
His best work. He's one of the villains.
Oh.
He's the curly-haired, goateed guy in Roadhouse.
Oh. Because Greg is over here saying, has anybody said Roadhouse?
Yeah, I should. You know what? And I'm embarrassed that I haven't brought it up yet, to be honest
No.
with you, because I should have thought of Roadhouse, because that is.
Jesse Ventura was in Predator. I knew that.
Yeah. Ain't got time to bleed. Terry Funk didn't do. I don't think he had a lot of acting roles, but he did. You know, a guy who was a legend for wrestling, and recently passed away. Very good friend of Mick Foley.
Who's TMNT? What was TMNT in?
Part 2 had
Who was TMNT in?
Kevin Nash.
I don't know crap about. Kevin Nash
was in
Super
Ninja
Shredder.
Turtles 2 as the Super Shredder. We'll be seeing Kevin in March. I'm real excited to work with Kevin again.
John Wick.
Even though I got to lose some more weight though, so it doesn't say I look like Ricky Gervais again.
God.
He said it, and then
So he
Diamond
looks like a
Dallas Page was
Chippendales
like, "I don't
dancer.
see it." DDP was like, "I don't see it."
That's rough.
No. I went home and I hit the elliptical after he said that.
There we go.
I'm kidding. I was actually already working on.
Well, I told you what Jake the Snake said to me in the car on the way to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me.
He was talking about gluten, and he was like, he pointed at my stomach. He said, "I guarantee you all that is gluten."
Jake is just like I've never met Jake, but I know that he's just like unfiltered. No, we've talked about that.
Oh,
before.
he has no filter.
Jake. I don't know
He's
Jake.
awesome. He's an a-hole, but in the best way.
Now, has anyone ever captured that on film? Is Jake the Snake has been in some, documentaries.
Yes,
that you can't forget. That's pretty intense stuff. But I don't know if he's taken on any dramatic roles.
That's true.
He was in the Peanut Butter Falcon, wasn't he? He as himself, right?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
He played himself. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's capable of not being himself.
That's true
No,
too.
I
I
don't
don't know if
think
he
so.
can play a role that's not Jake the Snake. Yeah, he is in the Peanut Butter Falcon. Yeah, he Brandon Moonbeam, have y'all seen Beyond the Mat?
No, I don't believe so.
It's kind of rough. I don't think
I've seen a lot of backyard wrestling videos.
Okay. Yeah.
Not the same.
Does anybody know who Superhuman is?
Wait, perhaps.
Brandon watches a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
Is he the one with like the crazy, like messed up looking mask?
No, so Superhuman is not actually a wrestler.
Okay.
Superhuman is this will tell you mostly everything you need to know. He's a juggalo.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That in his backyard just elbow drops various items.
Oh, maybe. I think I might have seen this.
No,
guy
we
on
all know him.
Instagram.
We've seen him everywhere.
Yeah,
he's-
you're like, okay, yeah, I have seen that.
Oh, yeah, we know him now. Yeah, I know.
Like
I'm hoping that AEW will sign him soon. I know. He seems like he would fit in perfectly there. You see, I'm into that. People make fun of AEW for being like, it's a whole outlaw mud show. I'm like, great. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm here for. I'm like just whacked out. Yeah. Sign Superhuman, have him jump on some stuff. I don't care.
have him jump on some thumbtacks.
It's entertaining, man. I used to watch Jerry Springer back in the day. You can't get me with that one. I'm like,
Hey,
I'm
look,
into it. Let's go.
Didn't Jerry Springer have a movie called Ready to Rumble?
He had some.
It was a Jerry Springer movie. Like he was on the cover.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
he
one
had
of
a
those
movie.
situations where you thought he was the head, like the lead person. I feel like I'm smoking crack. Does
Ringmaster.
no one
Might be
Ringmaster's
remember?
smoking crack. Who knows?
Cover of that is David Arquette in a headlock.
That was
Yeah.
David Arquette.
Ready
Was
to
it
Ready
Rumble
to
was David
Rumble is
Arquette.
David Arquette and Oliver Platt.
Yeah, Oliver Platt. Yeah, as the king.
Wait, who is the wrestler in there? We had a wrestler in that movie too.
David Arquette.
Well, they had
No,
like
no.
almost all of the WCW
Yeah.
roster was in there.
I've never seen it.
Sting and DDP were in it.
I'll give you a little bit of trivia from that movie from Ready to Rumble, but David Arquette's wrestling stunt double was the Hurricane in that movie.
Whoa,
Gregory
nice.
Helms.
You see, this is when me and literally everyone else stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
As soon as Ready to Rumble came out and David Arquette came into WCW, a lot of bad decisions were made in WCW, but putting the belt on David Arquette, not as bad as actually everyone makes it out to be, but it was the moment where it was like, this is kind of done. They've kind of run out of ideas. And It's
Yeah.
kind of over.
No,
I don't
like-
think I need to
Like
watch
98, 99. I feel like I was working
Yeah.
at a video store when that happened.
Yeah.
it. I was too.
Yeah. Movie gallery.
We were all just working at a movie store when that
Yeah.
happened.
And I wish I worked.
That's the only way that I can keep up with when things
And
came
you know
out.
what? That didn't help either. People don't talk about that. With the death of wrestling, movies started getting really good right around then.
I wonder what the correlation
movies got
is.
real good right around then, right around when wrestling died. Like up until then, movies weren't that great.
Because they were spending their
just-
Monday nights working on good scripts instead of watching TV.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
They needed a Brian Gewirtz or something like that to come in.
They
and,
needed to get the lead
it
out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
I didn't
had a
work
lot of exciting voices coming into filmmaking at that time, with like Quentin Tarantino and a lot of other guys coming in, Rodriguez and all that kind of stuff, bringing like really exciting cinema, like pro wrestling style cinema, right? Just kind of off the cuff nut stuff.
Dude, pretty much, yeah.
More exciting than what was on. Then David Arquette went in the belt. David Arquette. I watched. Speaking of wrestling documentaries, there's a great one on David Arquette. He's fantastic. I got no problems with them. I actually put the whole thing in a different light, and I think it's great they put the belt on him.
Yeah, it's called you cannot kill David Arquette is what it's called. Yeah.
Would you consider Andy Kaufman a wrestler?
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You got to.
So
he did it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like a joke for him. He was into it.
Is Fred Durst a wrestler?
No. But the Insane Clown Posse are.
I would say ICP.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're hard. I mean, they were like signed to WWE, right?
Yeah.
They lived the dream.
Oh man, Fred Durst is going on tour with Corey Feldman. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, he sure is.
Sounds about right. I guess
he's gonna take him to the Matthews Bridge, Brandon.
Oh,
y'all. Okay, here's the thing: we have talked too much about Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit on this show.
Yeah, we need to make a rule.
Here's what's happened, okay? Because we talk about this. So what's happened is Brandon and I will send each other, like if we come across like a funny like Limp Bizkit-y thing on Instagram, we'll send it to one another. But what happens whenever you do that is the Instagram algorithm is like, oh, you really love this Limp Bizkit stuff, don't you? Here's Limp Bizkit. And so they just keep putting the Limp Bizkit.
That's why I get so much Fred Durst stuff in my news feed.
God, and there needs to be less of it.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're watching the show. We're talking about it.
Like, why should I know that he's going on tour with Corey Feldman?
All right, look, if we're going to talk about any musicians, we can only talk about Billy Corgan due to his association with wrestling.
Yeah. Yes.
Did y'all know that Billy Corgan owns a wrestling promotion?
Oh, absolutely. As spotty at best as Smashing Pumpkins music has become, he will never cease to amaze me at how multifaceted he is. He will at one point be reading poetry and doing synth improv in his coffee shop, and then later that evening he's at his wrestling show. Like I really appreciate that sort of I don't know. He's a jack, I guess not jack of all trades, but he's got his hands in everything.
A bit of a Renaissance man, if you will.
Got his finger in all the pies.
Well, you know what's
Some
funny?
people even like that wrestling organization that he runs. There's like at least 5 people that enjoy it.
Yeah, there are dozens. There are dozens of NWA fans. Dozens.
Tens of fans.
Yeah.
He puts me
I'm
in mind
insulting
of,
someone so hard right now, perhaps. Probably not. They're not watching this show.
Yeah. I wish. You know what? I wish Billy Corgan would drag us. You know, to be honest with you, we could use the bump. Honestly,
I don't think he cares, man.
No.
Look, have you watched his just watched him? He puts me in mind of like Mandy Patinkin. Like, you know, is Mandy Patinkin there'll be like TikToks and his son's like going into his kitchen and he's just a normal guy talking about
Billy
normal
Corgan,
things.
he doesn't have like people. He doesn't have people that handle him. He just does whatever. He's like, I'm here with my kids and we're gonna release an album tomorrow.
100%. It's just so like not the
not
rock star I was looking for. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no! I saw a picture of him. Like he posted because like Smashing Pumpkins were gonna play at Disneyland, and I saw a picture of him.
Yeah,
he's like later today, we're gonna play. He just looks like somebody's dad. I mean, you know, I know that he is, but
he's not hiding.
Different.
He's not fronting.
I actually one of my best friends is Joel Gertner, who used to work for ECW back in the day.
Yeah.
And we've talked about before how Billy Corgan wanted to buy ECW at one point in time.
That might have been a better outcome.
Yeah, 2000, 2001. It might have been. What could have been?
I mean, I actually went back and I watched all the WWE ECW stuff from the very start. I watched everything. And it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It certainly gets there. Mm-hmm. But there's some salvageable moments from that. It's not the worst thing on the planet.
Yeah, people will say that about anything after it's over with. Doesn't really matter what it is, right?
I mean, they definitely, when they lost Paul Heyman, it was definitely over. That was a really bad thing.
Well, he would have been their biggest advocate too. He would have been the biggest driver of whatever.
He was the most interesting guy in the room, and as soon as he left, all the life just kind of came out of it. For sure.
Exactly.
And it became like a really weird Vince McMahon show. Like it really became very Vince McMahon centric, which was very odd. And now in light of current developments, horrible to watch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, horrible at the time and now horrible, even more horrible in rewatch.
If you leave a creative project laying around Vince McMahon for too long, he's going to put his hands in it is what's going to happen. It's just the way that is. But what are you going to do?
You should tell Vince to join the Smashing Pumpkins.
He'll come up with his own band, the Swole Grandpa. I don't know. Anyway, that's what they'd call it. But check this out, y'all. So, Mr. Hartgrave, I don't know if you know this, but we usually play a trivia game towards the end of the show every week. And I've got one here that we've played before. I had to reach into the deepest, darkest recesses here in order to make it work because I know. You know a lot more about wrestling than these folks are. Like you said, you took a break from it for a while, but
I did. I have a blank spot. Yeah.
This is a game we've played before. It's called Wrestling with Reality. Okay. So this works really well because Moonbeam and Brandon are not wrestling fans, and we know wrestlers. They're a lot of fun. Real quick, I need you to corroborate something for me, real quick. And you've never met JBL at an appearance before or anything like that, right?
He's talking to you.
Mr. Hartgrave specifically. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So just knowing what you know, just from like internet fandom, what would you say is JBL's reputation on the web amongst the fans? Have you heard anything about him or no?
Yeah, I don't think it's favorable.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. He's the sweetest.
Yeah. I told these guys that the fans think that he's this major a-hole and that no one likes him and he's the most like an unlikable guy ever.
Yeah.
And I'll go on the record and say JBL is awesome.
I had no idea that he had a bad reputation. I just thought he was like, he was described because I didn't know who he was. And Greg was like, he's just he's a businessman. He does business stuff. He's a businessman. So he's just like a rich white guy. I mean, I've been around rich white guys my whole life.
Sure.
Like he's just a nice country gentleman that likes hamburgers and french fries.
I think the further you go back with wrestlers, the more that you have no idea who these people are.
True.
Like modern wrestlers are a little more who they are. They don't play characters as much unless you get a true character like a Danhausen or something like that. Where they're all character. But if you go back far enough, the guy on TV is probably not the guy you're going to meet.
True enough.
The faces are actually heels and the heels are actually faces,
Yeah. Yeah, the nicer they are on TV.
I mean, like famously, I believe the Ultimate Warrior is someone that this is a hero, and then you meet him and he's a pile of crap.
Yeah.
Was he not cool?
There are a lot of people that have come out.
He was very famously not cool at all.
Oh man, he was. I remember.
I think Bret Hart had relayed a story in a book about how he like snubbed a Make-A-Wish kid or something like that one time.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, he was just not the character. He was not a hero.
Right.
I think later on in life he tried to make up for it, tried to make amends, and tried to be more of the guy that people wanted him to be.
Yeah.
But back in the day when he was big and famous, he was it really went to his head, and he took that out on people.
I feel like I would have to.
That's real easy to do. That's real easy to fall into that. Was Booker T? Was he a good guy on the wrestling? Like, is he?
Yeah, I mean, as far as everyone knows, as far as everyone's ever said, Booker T's awesome. We've worked with him a couple times, and
No, I know he's awesome, but I didn't know if he was. Does he play a bad guy?
Oh, he's played both. I mean, typically, if you have a long enough career, you go back.
He literally plays both on any given day.
Yeah.
He's too good at it.
I feel like he
So
was more
sweet.
often. Was he a heel? He played a heel more often. More often he played a bad guy. But no, yeah, we like Booker T a lot. We're going to be working with him in March too. We're going to have Booker T and Kevin Nash at Louisiana Comic Con. So
Heck yeah.
and Charmel
And his
will
wife.
be there as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be really dope. So the game we're going to play is called Wrestling with Reality, and it's real easy. It's a 50-50 game, meaning I'm going to give you a name, and you have to tell me whether or not that is a real wrestler. Is that a real wrestler or a fake wrestler? That's all it is. And we'll see who amasses the most points. I got enough here for everybody to have a couple goes, and then we have a tiebreaker in case we need the tiebreaker. So
He's gonna get every one of these. You're gonna get
We'll see.
every.
I don't know.
Mr.
You
Hartgrave,
know,
I have to ask, did
Well,
you come up with the fake names?
I did come up with this.
Hey!
I feel like I know you well enough, Grant, that I can answer these.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Last time I said Luchasaurus, and you said there's no way. Like, you're like, I hope that's a real wrestler, but it's not. And then it was. So you're saying you think you could pick out my fake names?
I mean, look, I got a
I bet. Let's see
50-50
what happens.
chance.
Let's see what happens. All right,
Luchasaurus
Roll
should
that
be
dice.
fake, but that's why it's so great.
Mr. Hartgrave, I'm gonna start with you because you're the
right.
guest.
Let's
All
go.
right, I'm gonna start with the name I'm giving you is Marcus Moon. Is Marcus Moon a real wrestler or a fake wrestler that I made up?
God, it sounds fake. I'm just gonna go with fake.
You going with fake? You're correct. That is fake. That's actually take off of Max Moon, which was an old WWE wrestler name. All right, cool. Tell you what, Moonbeam, let's see about this one. 1 point for Mr. Hartgrave. Giant Haystacks. Is Giant Haystacks a real wrestler or a fake wrestler?
Giant haystack.
Giant Haystacks.
Oh,
I feel like I would just know right away if
no. That's not a real wrestler.
It's not a real wrestler.
I bet it is, isn't it?
It's a real
It's
wrestler.
not.
It's a
It
real
isn't
wrestler.
really.
He was like the quintessential bad guy over in the UK for a while, and then he
God,
came
I
over to
hope
the
Giant
US.
Haystacks isn't listening
Giant
in.
No, he is dead. He's long dead.
Okay, well, he definitely ain't listening.
Brandon, I got one for you.
Yeah,
He's
what's
not
up?
listening. Shark Boy, is that a real wrestler or a fake wrestler?
That is absolutely real.
That is a real wrestler, correct. Shark Boy is a real wrestler.
Yeah. We need to
What
do
about
like
Lava Girl?
teams next time.
Shark
We
Boy,
do
we
like
had Shark Boy on team up. Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yeah. Oh, so he sued them whenever that movie came out.
good as
Really?
he should.
What's
No,
the
we
name
should do
of that?
like do like
Unwrestling show.
teams next time. Like, is King Shit and the Golden Boys? Is that a real is that a real team?
That's actually real. Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Look, 1 point, Brandon, 1 point, Mr. Hartgrave. Let's keep this rolling here. Back around to Mr. Hartgrave.
I suck at this.
Mr. Hartgrave, here's one. How about Booty Man? Is that a real wrestler or a fake wrestler?
You see, I don't know how deep this goes. You could be pulling some guy.
We don't know how deep the booty goes.
Am I now? Yeah, look. Yeah.
Man. I want Booty Man to be real, so I got to say real.
You're
I
going to
just
say
want-
real?
I want
That's
it
a
so
real
bad.
wrestler. You know who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a period of time, Brutus Beefcake went by the name Booty Man in WCW.
Of course he did. He had like 100 different names.
And his finishing move was the high knee. Yeah.
Dude, it's like whenever you figure out that that 2 Chainz used to go by Titty Boy.
Titty Boy. Yeah, he did. That's true. That's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
All right,
For like a
Booty Man.
decade.
2 points to Mr. Hartgrave, 1 point, Brandon. All right. Moonbeam. Dragon Lee. Is that a real wrestler or a fake wrestler? Dragon Lee.
Fake.
Oh.
That's real. That is a
Is
real.
it
he's
really?
currently signed to WWE. Real guy.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I can
It should be
trace.
fake. It's borderline offensive.
Yeah, I feel like
It does
yeah.
sound like they just like threw names
Yeah.
at the wall.
You're Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
It's like back
All right.
back when they did all the fake Bruce Lee movies.
That's what I was thinking. I was
And
like, yeah, I could trace back how they figured that name out, but why would they go with it?
Why would they do it? Well, it's pretty easy.
I would just do that.
Because they wanted to capitalize on Ultimo Dragon, I think. All right, Brandon.
Yeah.
Last chance to tie it up here. Amazing Orange. Is that a real wrestler or fake wrestler?
That's a fake wrestler.
That is a fake wrestler, correct. 2 points for Brandon.
But a
There
real
was a wrestler named...
YouTuber, right?
My ass.
What's that?
But a real YouTuber, right?
Maybe, I
Or
don't
not,
know.
that's Annoying
the
Orange.
Annoying Orange, yeah.
That's annoying,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
Amazing
yeah.
Red was an independent wrestler for a long time. He was very good. He's since retired, but he worked for Ring of Honor back in the early days. All right, we have a tiebreaker here. It's just going to be the first one of y'all to guess it. Brandon, Mr. Hartgrave. David Lee Ross. Is that a real wrestler or a fake wrestler? First one to yell it out.
Fake
Tell me.
wrestler.
What's that?
Fake wrestler.
That is a fake wrestler. You're correct. Yeah. Brandon taking the You know why?
I was
There used to be
going
a
to guess
wrestler.
it was real, and it was one of the ECW guys. A lot of the ECW guys had like riffs on.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
No, I looked it up to make sure, but no. There used to be a wrestler in WCW again named Van Hammer. That's where I got that name from. I was like, you know what? Maybe not Van Hammer, but I'll come up with something. David Lee
Seems
Ross
correct.
is what I came up with.
That's got some serious Mandela effect right there. A
It
few
does.
people were like, "That's real."
It does. People would argue with you.
I remember that guy.
Oh man.
Man.
I shook hands with him.
Well, Brandon, nicely done taking the game.
I didn't
Congratulations.
get any right.
Moonbeam got none right. You only had 2
Maybe
guesses.
next
I mean,
time.
No, well,
whatever.
Got to play to win.
It's all good.
Yeah, I guess
Look,
so,
y'all,
man.
our producer's giving me the
Whatever.
signal to wrap this thing up. It's he's a
He's
real.
giving you the finger.
He's giving me the finger, and that's just the way it is. But we got Kayfabe Fest coming up on January 13th. A lot of folks are looking for Christmas presents. If you're in that area, southeast Louisiana, to northern Mississippi, man, get somebody a ticket to Kayfabe Fest. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have live wrestling.
I
We're gonna
mean, you
meet some
can
legends.
fly
there.
in
It's
from New
awesome.
Zealand if you want to.
You're not
No,
supposed to
don't-
let people
yeah,
know that
but-
Parts Unknown is New Zealand, okay, Mr. Hartgrave? Now we know
Sorry.
where
Sorry
he's
to
from.
out you.
Jeez, wow. He eats his lunch where Lord of the Rings was filmed every day. No.
90 billion sheep.
Mr. Hartgrave, why don't you go ahead and let everybody else know where they can find you and anything else that we might have missed.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be able to find me, but if you go to YouTube, you type in Mr. Hartgrave AEW, I should come up. I make enough videos about AEW that works. You can also find me on Twitch. I am live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Being a Twitch personality, sometimes talking about AEW, sometimes predatory video games. You never know which.
All right, nicely done. I had the cough button and I didn't release it, so that's what happens in showbiz, baby. Well,
That's
thank
how they
you
do
for
it in
joining us. Thanks
Vegas.
for coming on. I know you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of video editing and things like that you're working on right now, and streaming and whatnot like that. So appreciate you for being here. It's been a great time. You're gonna have to come back sometime soon. We'll figure it out. Maybe after Kayfabe Fest wraps up, we'll dish on that with you here.
And if you guys haven't checked out Grant's episode on the channel, make sure you do that. When you go to Mr. Hartgrave from Parts Unknown, we got a tier list that we did of Halloween music, Halloween wrestler themes.
Yeah. Horror wrestler themes. We did a tier list of that. That was a lot of fun. Y'all definitely go and check that out. That was a real cool one. Yeah. Well, y'all, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button there and like and leave us a comment and all that other good stuff, because we will be back here with another episode of The Humbl3 Show next week. But until then, stay humble.